Who tortured a friend to death.
Mike's
Not very
at the
wacky.
bag picking teeth from his skull, like playing with his tongue. He's all sick
What
and
the
everything.
fuck?
I want my mommy.
He kept on punching him and shooting him, and I had to grab him like this to pull him back, and I told him to stop.
You mean people are gonna hate us for this?
I hate my life.
This is our life now.
Oh my God, man.
15-year-old Seth Jackson was a typical teen boy living in Summerfield, Florida with his parents Scott and Sonia Jackson and his two older brothers. He loved animals and had aspirations to join the Ultimate Fighting Championships. His parents had agreed to enroll him in training courses when he turned 18. Little did he know that when he began a relationship with 15-year-old Amber Wright, it would lead down a dark and twisted path that would ultimately end those aspirations, along with his life, in an unimaginably horrifying fashion. As is often the case, their relationship was happy, in the beginning at least. However, after a year, things turned sour between
Whole
them.
fucking year?
During these difficult times, Amber added fuel to the fire when she began a close relationship with 18-year-old Mike Bargo. Seth's best friend, Will Samalot, claimed that Seth was traumatized when the end of their relationship finally came, amid speculation that Amber was actually cheating on him with Mike. On Sunday, April 17th, 2011, Seth and Will went to visit a mutual friend. That night, when they left to walk home, Will noticed that Seth was texting on his phone and seemed distracted. Shortly after 9 p.m., the two parted ways. That was the last time Will would ever see his friend. Seth's mother, Sonia Jackson, filed a missing persons report the next day when he didn't return home. When a news report concerning Seth's disappearance appeared on TV, Amber Wright's half-brother, Kyle Hooper, had an emotional breakdown, telling his mother that he had knowledge of what happened to the missing teen. The story that Kyle told his mother was appalling, and she contacted the authorities, indicating that a ramshackle house in Summerfield, Florida, held the key to Seth's mysterious disappearance. When investigators visited this location and rounded up the suspects in Seth's disappearance, they soon learned that the full truth was far more grisly than they ever could have conceived. According to Kyle's testimony, Justin Roach Soto, Amber Wright, homeowner Charlie Ely, Mike Bargo, and he himself were present on the scene the night Seth went missing. Investigators collected these individuals and brought them down to the station for interviews, with the exception of Mike Bargo, who they were unable to locate at the time. When dealing with multiple suspects, such as in this case, one common tactic that detectives will use is to separate them, allowing each one of them to tell their version of events independently. Once an inconsistency is found, detectives will present this inconsistency to all of the suspects in the hopes that all of them will tell the truth. This technique would prove critical as detectives began to unravel the complicated skein of threads in a complex tapestry of murder, unveiling one of the most twisted and chilling motives we've ever seen in a case. What follows is never-before-seen interrogation footage exclusively obtained by EWU.
You can sit right there, that's fine, thank you. That's kind of why we have the chairs to sit up like this.
All right, so what's the issue?
This is 20-year-old Justin Soto. To his friends, he's known by the nickname Roach. He's the eldest of the suspects, and investigators believe that he may have intimate knowledge of what happened to Seth, as he is a current resident in the house.
What's the issue? You know what, I have a feeling you're gonna tell me, okay? Listen, I want you to understand something, okay? I don't know what you do or don't know. You're not in trouble with me, okay? But this is extremely important.
The detective tries to reassure Justin that he's not in trouble, but this might not be the entire truth. Police will often say things like this to gain rapport with suspects so that they'll be more forthcoming with the officers.
Are you from around here?
Like, I've lived here for a while, but I'm from Hawaii.
You're from Hawaii?
Yeah.
Where here have you lived? I mean, how long have you been living here?
Since I was about 12 years old, 11, 12 years old. A few years.
Oh, so you've been here a while.
Yeah, I've been here a while.
Investigations usually begin with discussions of general information like this, so the detective can get to know the suspect and begin to make them feel comfortable with the interrogators.
Let's talk about your tattoos a little bit. Do you mind?
Yeah, I don't mind at
Okay.
all.
What's it say on the front?
This says head buster on it.
What is that? HSAO?
HEAD.
People generally like to talk about their tattoos and the meanings behind them, so it's an easy question to get the conversation
buster.
flowing. If Justin feels at ease with the detective, he may be more willing to give her information regarding what happened to Seth. Justin shows the
That's a bad
detective
look.
his tattoos and she jokes around with him, building an atmosphere of trust and camaraderie before getting around to the impending serious discussion. Suddenly, the detective notices something interesting.
Yeah, this is my last one. I have a mushroom right here.
Oh, that's a new one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are all the scratches about?
I mean, I was walking through the woods and some vines got a hold of it, and like 3 or 4 vines wrapped around my leg, and I went to go walk in it.
Any others?
No, that's it.
That's it? Okay. You don't have anything on your back and your arms?
Mm.
Wow, that's different. Usually that's where they put them all. Oh, you got a cold or something?
Yeah, I've been sick for like almost 2 weeks now. Well, I'm not really sick anymore. I just got this crazy behind cough, and it aggravates me.
While Justin's explanation may be true,
Benign.
a
He's
sudden increase
benign.
in
That's
coughing
it.
can also indicate an increased stress level. As the body goes into fight or flight mode, mucous membranes dry up, which can make the mouth and throat feel dry. For someone who already had a lingering cough, this dryness could cause further irritation and make the coughing increase.
I understand that you guys were, in a crowd. I'm older, so I'm gonna say kids,
Yeah.
hanging out together, okay? I hear that, tempers flew, okay? And things happened. What are you doing Sunday night?
What's today, Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday.
Hey.
Justin succumbs to a coughing fit here just as the interview begins in earnest.
Do you know why you're here? You don't know?
I really
Did
don't.
anybody explain? Tell me how you ended up here.
I woke up this morning to Charlie waking me up, and there was an officer right there, and I'm here now.
Each of those being interrogated lived with Charlie Ely in her home at the time of Seth's disappearance, except for Amber Wright, who visited regularly and frequently stayed overnight.
Okay, so you just got in a car and you didn't ask any questions like, what do you want? Why am I here? Nothing? You didn't ask anything? Oh, come on. You're too smart for that.
I'm not worried about it. I didn't do nothing wrong. I mean, I was
Exactly.
just coming over here to see what the hell's going on. Because I woke
Yeah,
up.
but you even said it yourself, okay? You're nervous about places like this, okay? So there's no way you're gonna sit there and tell me that you got into a police car, okay? And ask no questions as to why you're getting into a police car after being woken up, okay?
The detective appeals to logic
Damn.
based on information she's
Damn.
collected from Justin to point out
She came
that
at
he
his
may
throat, I'm not
already be
gonna lie.
acting dishonest with her.
You're like, stop lying.
Let's,
They said an incident happened.
okay? With who?
I guess freaking something about some kid that I don't even know who the hell he is, and
Yeah, you do. Who is he?
his name's Seth or something like that. And supposedly, I guess he got shot or whatever.
Okay.
That's all I know. Like the girls, I guess they went to go meet up with him or something, and
What girls?
Charlie and the other one.
This is 18-year-old Charlie Ely. She's the owner of the house where Justin,
18?
Kyle Hooper, and Mike Bargo also live.
I don't like this room. I'm about to go crazy.
Charlie has been obsessively checking and examining her body since entering the interview room. This may be indicative of anxiety. After nearly 20 minutes, a detective finally arrives to speak to Charlie.
Hello.
Huh?
How are you?
Good. About to go
Good.
crazy.
About to go crazy?
Yeah, I can't. Room recall.
Okay. Well, we don't need that. I'm Detective Bill with the Sheriff's Office.
Charlie.
Charlie? What's your last name, Charlie?
Ely.
Haley?
Ely. E-L-Y.
Okay. How you doing? How old are you?
18.
18 years of age. Okay. Do you,
So that's
do you
gonna
know
be
why
common
you're
within
here?
all of them. They all
Why
cough
are you here?
Because
because they're fucking stupid.
something happened with Seth.
Something happened with Seth.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Understand that we had a deputy bring you down here because of what may have happened with
Yeah,
Seth.
I
Okay. There's an investigation that we're gonna investigate. Are you clear with that?
Charlie sighs heavily, which may be an example of her using an adapter to expel nervous energy. Adapters are nonverbal ways that people comfort themselves when they're feeling stressed.
Yeah, use common sense there.
I'm gonna sit back and
I'm opening my other candy and going.
you've already explained to me
Talk about, but
why you think why you here. Okay.
I know why I'm here.
Explain to me why you're here.
Often, detectives will allow the suspect to simply tell the story in their own words. This allows them to observe and catch any lies and inconsistencies, pointing
Right.
these details out to encourage the subject to tell the complete truth.
And be honest with me. Totally truthful. Hold your head up.
Okay, Sunday night. Sunday night. Amber and I walked up because her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, was Seth, and they wanted to work things out. So we met him up.
This is Sunday night?
Yes, sir. At 58th Court. It was approximately 9:30.
So you met him on the corner?
It was a
Yeah.
setup.
Okay.
They talked
What
for,
corner did you guys meet him on?
I think it's 58th Court. I want to say that's what it is.
And who all met there?
Me, Amber, and Seth.
Amber is, of course, 15-year-old Amber Wright, Seth's ex-girlfriend, the half-sister of Kyle Hooper, and suspected love interest of Mike Bargo. In another room not far away, she will soon begin a similar story.
Fuck Mike.
I introduced myself before. My name's Rhonda, okay? And I'm gonna talk to you about this, okay? Okay, I just need you to tell me the story, and let's start with the other night. I understand that you and Charlie went to another neighborhood or went down the street. Tell me how this all comes about.
Unlike the other detectives, Detective Stroop goes straight into the story, beginning with Amber's role in the events.
Well, me
'Cause
and
his
him
mom
were
there.
already talking on the phone.
Me and him.
Seth.
Okay, you and Seth. Did Seth call you or did you call Seth?
Well, he had called me a couple days before that, and I didn't answer.
Okay.
So I called him that night.
And you and Seth, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? You two had a relationship.
This one,
Was he, how was your relationship with him?
not the best.
Tell me why you say not the best.
We'd always fight. He'd always hit me and cheat on me and all that.
So he was physically
That's
abusive
insane.
to you?
He was okay.
When Amber describes her relationship with Seth, she touches her hair, another adapter behavior. She may be feeling uncomfortable as she talks about this sensitive subject.
Who all knew that?
Me, Charlie, my brother.
Okay, so Kyle knew about it. Was there a lot of people in the neighborhood just that ran around with you guys that knew this?
Yeah.
Because your mom, I understand, knew it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Was that true though?
So Seth had called you a few days before.
Mhm.
You called him back, and what day was that?
I think it was Sunday night.
Sunday night?
It was the night that this all happened.
Okay, so you called Seth, and what did Seth say?
Well, it started off, I was like, hey, I know you called me the other day and I didn't answer, but you wanted to make up. So do you want to make up or like try and be friends or something because I'm sorry for everything? And he was like, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea for the both of us because we're both tired of fighting with each other, but we just wanted to stop the drama.
Okay. So were you guys going to get back together as a couple?
No, we were just going to try and be friends.
Okay.
Because we were friends before we were dated.
Okay.
We were really close.
Okay.
And he was like, well, you should walk down here. And I was like, well, if I walk down there, I'm not walking alone because it's too dark, so can my friend Charlie come?
Uh-huh.
And he was like, sure, I guess.
Where was Seth at when he said walk down here?
The neighborhood at the end of my road, Bellevue Ridge Estates.
Okay, so Seth was at Bellevue Ridge. Whose house was he at down there?
He said something about Brittany.
It seems likely Brittany was the friend that Seth and Will were visiting the night of his disappearance. Will mentioned that Seth had been distracted, texting on his phone once they left. Police later recovered these messages.
Okay, what'd they say?
Read, hey, can you talk? You said you needed to talk. Well, I kinda need to talk to you about us working things out. What do you mean? Can you please call me, like now? Yeah, sure. Hey, my friend Charlie is coming with. I've been telling her everything between me and you, and she's coming because I need her to help through this. Is that okay? But don't tell anyone what's going on because I want to make sure we can work things out before anyone knows. Amber, if you have me jumped, I will never give you the time of day. So if I get jumped, say goodbye, all right? I swear you're not Seth. I could never do that to you. I just want me and you back. Okay. I'm
Oh, so it's
walking up
her
the hill
idea.
now.
Okay.
I'm at the neighborhood road. Where are you? Sorry, I didn't want Will to hear me, but stay around the corner where me and you fought. Just wait right there, and I'll be there in a minute. This was Seth's very last text message. It's interesting that he was suspicious of Amber's motives here, as he fears that she's planning to have him jumped. Perhaps he had a good reason to be wary.
So you guys went down there and talked?
We were talking for maybe like not even 30 minutes.
Okay.
And his mom, I guess, texted him. And I was like, who are you texting? I thought we were talking. And he was like, my mom told me either right now or never. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess they started arguing, whatever. And then he looked at me. He's like,
Arguing with his mom through
yes.
text? Okay.
And I guess he called her a bitch or whatever. I didn't want to get in it. And then he was like, look, I'm not in the mood to talk right now. I'm getting out of here for now. I'll see you around.
And he just stormed off. So when he stormed off, we went back to my house. And about an hour later, he came to my house.
Mike was off in his room like he always is.
Okay.
He never comes out.
So he had no idea you went to see Seth or that you came back from seeing Seth that you're aware of?
I didn't tell him.
Okay. And Kyle's in the living room. What's Kyle doing?
Kyle just sits there and watches TV like he always does.
Okay, so he's just watching TV in the living room. Mike's in the bedroom.
W snitch,
Okay,
but he
and
still
then
helps, so
what
fuck him.
happens? Seth comes to the
Seth
house?
knocked on the door and Charlie answered it. And she was like, well, what do you want? And he was like, I just need to talk to Amber. Can I come in?
I don't know what it is you're being careful about, okay? And it's okay to be careful.
I don't understand what this guy's
okay?
here.
But the truth is what it is, okay? And that's what I need from you.
That's pretty much what it is. I don't know the kid.
Okay.
I know he's a little white boy, and
Using the phrase pretty much is what is known as an exclusion qualifier. Other examples of exclusion qualifiers could be saying something like not really or for the most part. It allows the person to tell some of the truth while hiding the rest. It's important to note that just because you hear someone use one of these statements, it's not proof that they are lying, but an indication that they may be.
him and one of the girls used to date or whatever, and
Which girl?
the Amber girl,
Well, you just told me more than you told me a few minutes ago. How do you know Amber?
as a friend.
How did you meet her?
Through her brother, Kyle, the other dude that's
Okay.
here.
Okay. All right. So is Kyle the other one that lives with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then now I know you know more than you're saying because, you know,
He just moved in too.
I know, but Kyle likes to talk, doesn't he?
The detectives have pinpointed Kyle as the potential weakest link. After all, he is the one who originally confessed information to his mother, which resulted in the four being here at the station. What is unclear at this point is exactly how much Kyle has told his mother and the investigators. We can't be sure what the detective already knows, but neither can Justin.
I haven't chilled with the kid in
You what?
I haven't chilled with or hung out with him in a little while until we moved in and started living there.
Well, now you're making me think things a little differently. Okay?
The detective scoots her chair closer to Justin. This increased physical proximity creates additional pressure for him to tell the truth.
Now you're making me think that maybe you had some involvement in all of this. Did you?
No, ma'am.
Did you have any involvement in any of this?
No, ma'am.
No? Where'd you get the scratches from on your legs?
Vines walking through the woods.
Because those were very, very fresh scratches. When did you get those?
Yesterday, I was walking through the woods yesterday.
Yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
What woods were you walking through?
In my old neighborhood, where I was going to talk to the dude about the tree job.
Okay. What neighborhood is that?
It doesn't have a name. It's behind a church, a big church.
This is an unsatisfactory answer, and the beginning of a series of very vague answers from Justin.
I work in the woods too, you know,
Mhm.
and I don't get scratched up like that.
No, they have like little, what are those called? Thorns or whatever on them.
Okay.
And they're up there on my leg.
Let me
and-
see your other leg. Yeah, you're pretty scratched up. That's not from a walk through the woods.
Sure it is.
No. Talk to me, Justin.
That's what happened.
I mean, that very well could be. I don't.
Oh, I believe it's woods.
Yeah.
I believe that. I have no doubt it could be that. But that's not from walking through the woods.
Yeah.
Okay? We were either running, walking in the dark.
The detective returns to the night in question, and Justin continues his strategy of distancing himself from the others.
I don't know anything about what happened. Like, I just came home and I went to sleep.
While Justin maintains his ignorance of the situation, the girls continue their version of events.
Did Seth
Lying,
call you before
pretty
he
much.
came down?
No,
there?
ma'am.
So he just showed up an hour later.
Yeah.
When you came back, did you talk to your brother or Michael about what Seth had said, or that you guys had had a conversation? Did they
I want to
know?
hear what Kyle says, bro. He was snitching in the preview.
I'm going to talk to Seth and try and figure things out.
Notably, there's no mention of Justin being present at the scene in Amber's version either.
I hear a knock at the door. It's Seth. So I let him in, not thinking anything was wrong with it.
Okay. Can you draw me a drawing of your house?
I guess.
I just want to try to get a picture of what
We get like
exactly.
idea.
The
I'm
detective
pretty sure
may
they
have
would
each
already
other
have one, I'm not gonna lie.
To make sure her story is crystal clear.
I would be like,
However, a methodically laid
don't
out
you already
game
have one?
plan could allow the detective to point out certain details that seem implausible or odd as well.
She let him in. He sits in the chair. Me and her sitting by each other on the couch. And out of nowhere, Kyle just gets up and hits him.
He
So were
didn't
they
like.
arguing first before you hit him? You just
No, Amber and Seth were talking, and Kyle comes out of nowhere and hits him, and me and Amber dart to my room.
and where was
And
he? At?
Kyle said, "Get the fuck out," and he went out that way, and we hear Mike's door hit something, and Mike came out, and we heard gunshots.
Okay.
And by then,
They started
Kyle took off. to our
Okay.
room. We shut the bathroom door. And we heard another door just fly open, and we just heard gunshot after gunshot after gunshot. And after maybe like 5 or 6 times of hearing it, it got quiet. And then you hear Kyle go, "What did you just do?"
The introduction of a gun into this scenario does not seem to bode well for Seth.
Okay,
It's
so
still
they act
unclear
like they had no
exactly what
part in
happened
it.
to him, as the girls were
They
not visual
snitch,
witnesses
but
to the event itself. It's difficult to piece together Seth's fate, especially since there hasn't been a body recovered.
How do you think Michael knew Seth was out there?
He probably heard him talking.
Okay. So it's one of them things where it's not that far apart. that
Yeah,
he-
the house is
The
very
house is
small.
he would know
It's
Seth's
small.
voice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
If we said anything to anyone, he would f***ing kill us.
So this is
next.
after the gunshots.
Yeah,
He came back into the house.
yeah, with the gun,
In
and he
his
was
hand?
waving it around.
What
us.
kind of gun was it?
It was a revolver.
Okay.
wow.
I mean, he's letting us like touch it and shit, so our fingerprints are on it.
It's interesting that Charlie is choosing to volunteer information about Mike letting them touch the revolver at this point. It could very well be that she has a guilty conscience and is trying to preemptively dismiss certain pieces of evidence that indicate
Okay.
her guilt, such as her fingerprints being on a weapon.
She thought that was an IQ play. She really did think that was an IQ play. I ain't gonna lie. She thought that shit was IQ. It was not IQ. They do not care.
Like I just heard a bunch of shit.
Oh shit.
Like he was
Moving
doing
stuff
something.
around.
Yeah.
Okay. You document that. Now, did you hear any voices or anything that you told
All
me?
I heard was Mike's voice.
Okay. And what did you hear Mike saying?
This is what you f***ing get.
The hard
So
R.
when did you guys finally come out of the room?
The next morning.
Was anything different?
They didn't. So they knew Seth was dead, and they didn't come out for mornings. The
Do
fuck?
you know where the bleach came from?
And the mom didn't care.
I had a bottle of bleach on the counter, but that's not there.
So you had bleach and it's gone
Yeah.
now? Mm-hmm.
And Mike came into the room and he said, "I swear if you guys open your mouth about anything about last night, I'm gonna come after you guys." He said, "I gotta go. I'm going somewhere."
Okay. And he left?
Yeah. He said, "I'm going somewhere."
Fuck is young bull's problem? That's my question.
And me and Amber went up to my friend Chris's house for.
Did you look around your house or anything to see what
Like,
I mean,
I
you
was
had to be
looking
curious
around.
about something,
I
right?
was looking around, but I didn't see anything. Like, I didn't see really anything. I mean, my shit, the only thing that I really noticed was in my bathroom, my shower doors, not my bathroom, but the guest bathroom, shower doors were down.
Where was Michael the next day when you got up?
Shower doors were down. Oh, okay. I get what she's saying.
Charlie left.
So that's probably what Mike
We
wrapped
were
Seth
at my
in.
friend's house until maybe 4. What time did you call me? When you made dinner?
Probably about 3.
So Michael was in the house though when you woke up in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This is a minor discrepancy in what has been a very parallel story, since Charlie claims Mike was out and about making more threats, while Amber says he was asleep in his room until they left.
This guy, Justin Soto, was he there when this happened?
I didn't see him anywhere. Like, I don't think he was there. I think he was talking about going and talking to someone in another neighborhood about a job that he has to do like next week.
What have you heard about Seth? Tell me everything
He
you've
used
heard
to-
about Seth.
Like, he used to date Amber, and I guess, I don't know, it's pretty much it. I guess he had some problems with some other kid, and
What kind of problems?
Once again, Justin uses two selective memory statements, I guess and I don't know, followed by another exclusion qualifier. That's pretty much it. This doesn't mean he's guilty, but it could suggest that he's withholding information related to the case. It's possible that he's either
Let
protecting
it
someone
out.
else or himself.
Let
by
it
holding
out.
back. This is also only an indication of deception when it isn't part of someone's normal speech patterns. Some teenagers and young adults use phrases like pretty much all the time. This is another instance that highlights the importance of the officers having some low-stakes conversations with individuals before the interrogation begins, so that they can get a feel for their baseline speech patterns. That way, if their word usage changes in association with certain topics, the officer can be more certain that something is off about that specific topic.
Yeah.
like, they were just, like, talking noise to each other, and,
Who?
I don't even know, like,
Yeah, you do. Who?
I'd be
well,
pissed off, and
I
I'd
think his name is Mike,
I
actually.
knew you would
if
remember. I had faith in you.
if I didn't
When did you
know,
first meet
Like-
Mike?
Oh, I met him, like,
and
2
she
years
said
ago.
that, I would have been
He met
pissed.
Mike nearly 2 years ago, but just a few minutes ago was acting like he didn't even know his name. She makes one last-ditch effort to get him to open up to her.
I'm sure Mike's gonna talk for what's best for Mike. So Justin needs to tell me what's going on.
For the
Think
best
about
of
what's best
Justin.
for Justin.
That was a bar.
I left yesterday. That's pretty much what happened.
Did you leave with Mike?
No.
Did you leave with anybody else? All right, well, listen, give me a few minutes and I'll be right back, okay?
All right.
All right.
She leaves to acquire a smoke for him and likely to get an update on what the other investigators have learned from their suspects.
Sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. Do you mind if I talk to her again? Okay, I'm gonna bring Kyle in here with you, okay?
Ha. Yes. Kyle, the man of the fucking hour. The only guy that snitched. Nobody else would have talked.
This is 16-year-old Kyle Hooper, Amber Wright's half-brother. He's just finished a grueling one-on-one interview with a detective. And
Bro
is
got a
clearly
shoulder tattoo like
distressed.
me.
Both your kids are in a thing for murder.
Number two?
You know,
What do you mean?
what we told you was in the store. I mean, it was like everything was planned.
With Roach, everybody?
Everybody.
Admitting that everything was planned is extremely
Whoa.
important because it proves mens rea, premeditated.
Whoa, whoa. That's first degree. Planned is first degree. Isn't that? Planned is first degree. First degree is planned. Second degree is like, you know you're going to do it. And then third degree is like it happens. And then manslaughter is it happens in a fight or some shit like that. But either way, that's first fucking degree. I don't know how he's not in for it. Probably because he snitched and probably because he's getting, like, he probably gave all the information already. But damn, that's for, they planned that shit too. I knew it because with the messages, I was a little confused. She said one thing about the messages saying that Seth was the one that wanted to meet up, and then in the messages, it was actually her that wanted to meet up with Seth, and then they didn't come to Seth. And then Seth was like, where the fuck you at? And then they was like, give me 10 minutes or whatever. So like, and then he was like, you better not be getting me jumped. And they were.
Criminal intent. So not only has Kyle essentially admitted to murder on videotape, he's also admitted to a specific degree of murder. First degree murder.
Yeah, I was right. I was right.
They took
with my phone?
We were
Everything's gone. James is on it too.
On what? Is it on this?
Now, Kyle has also unexpectedly implicated his stepfather, James Havens III.
Ugly
That
ass.
he is in on it, too. Kyle Hooper, much like his sister, has told detectives a bit of a story while his mother was present. However, they likely realize at this point that he is the weakest link, as he was the one who originally confessed to his mother. He certainly doesn't seem to want to tell the full story in front of her, so the detective pulls him out into a room alone, where he sits wiping ink from his hands from his fingerprinting. Little does he know, a confrontation is about to begin.
Yeah, start snitching, bro. Tell him what happened.
Sorry about that.
What's wrong?
That's the best for you. You're gonna get less than a life sentence. You're in on first.
To be honest with you, okay?
We know exactly what the fuck happened.
This is how I work. I'm giving you an opportunity right now to lie to me. Okay? If you take that opportunity, okay, you're a fool.
No, I'm not lying to you at all.
Everything that comes out of your little mouth right now better be 110% the truth. Okay?
See, look, I was watching this thing earlier today, and I promise you, it like comes into this. It was the change my mind. No, it was to change my mind on women being in like combat work things. And being a police officer / detective is technically one of them. It's a combat workforce because like in the field, there's obviously sometimes shit can go down. There's gonna be a guy that's a fucking behemoth on some crack, and he might take advantage of the small lady cop, which obviously the man's gonna win that fight. But I feel like girls make good, like, not investigators, but like, what is this? Interrogators, bro. They can make good interrogators. One, because men are horny. Two, it's like when a girl's mean, they mean as shit, bro, and that cuts deep. And like when a dude is mad, and like he might just be like, all right, fuck it, tell you what you want, bro. Shut the fuck up.
All right, now let's start.
And especially for younger
of this.
men
And
/
this is
kids,
your
it'd be
one
easier to
and
tell
only
a woman
last chance
than a
to
guy or something.
correct any discrepancies you may have of the story that you told me. Okay? Want to start fresh?
No. Man, I'm scared. Really,
Kyle, I'm sure you are. Okay?
I've never been to. I don't want to go. I don't want to go through none of this. I didn't mean for none of this to happen.
Okay, but you know what, Kyle? Right now is the time to man up. Right now is where the rubber meets the road. Okay? I can do nothing for you. I can do nothing. I can't talk to you if you're not going to tell me the truth.
She may be trying to empathize with him to make him feel like she cares, but she makes no hints or promises that he won't be locked up or that she will help him.
Because he's on first degree.
Kyle is hiding his face with his hand, which may indicate
shit, I
that
hit
he
my mic,
feels
my fault.
shame and wants to hide himself from the detective's gaze.
He's on first degree. You
So
think?
let's start
I think he's not stupid enough to know that you're gonna get him out.
Just you and I here. Just start at the beginning. Tell me what really happened.
Kyle begins his story with important insight into his state of mind that night. He and his biological dad did not get along, which may have been a major factor in Kyle's sudden decision to move in with Charlie. To that end, he sold his laptop to raise quick cash for rent, and that instigated an argument with his mother. Feeling like he was losing his family, he went to his stepfather, James Havens, for mental support, who later dropped him off at Charlie's house. His anger and frustration may have been contributing factors to his fateful decisions later that night. With the stage set, Kyle begins his shocking tale.
He drops me off. Alright, well, we got this kid that comes over. His name's Brandon. He plays the guitar.
Brandon,
Yeah, his name's Brandon. He plays the guitar. He's got long hair. He's in a band and stuff like that.
that comes over to Charlie's house.
Yeah, he plays guitar. And, well, he was out there playing guitar and stuff like that out in the front yard and everything. And then
Okay.
Mike, he was like getting all into it. He went in the house. I guess he was snorting some pills or whatever. And,
Okay.
he was
What kind of pills? Mike?
Drug addict?
I'm not sure. They were white pills.
Where'd he get them?
White pills? Okay.
We get wants any of this stuff. I don't know. He don't tell me nothing about stuff like that, honestly.
The
looks like
detective is
a-
interested in these
Never mind, I
pills,
can't
but
say that.
all Kyle can contribute is that they were white. Yet Mike's alleged drug use that night may have contributed to him making the decision to kill Seth and follow through with that choice. Although it's unknown what specific drug he may have taken, many illegal
I got so much
substances
Q-tips
have been
there.
linked to increased levels of violence.
Yeah.
So he's snorting some pills and so on.
And he, he's getting all hired, wired up, hyped up, and everything. And somebody brought up the name Seth, and he's like, man, I want to go on a killing spree tonight. He's like, I just want to. And he's like, you guys down? And I told him no. I told him I don't.
When he said you guys down, who's he talking to?
Like,
You and him.
me, Amber, Charlie, Roach. Okay.
Who's Roach now?
The guy Justin Soto.
Oh, okay, so
Okay.
Soto was there.
Yeah. Yo, Amber and Charlie did say shit about the guy Roach, bro. They said he was not there. Now it's lining up that he got the scratches on his legs. Maybe he was in the woods, but he was definitely hiding a body. That's what he was doing in the woods. 100%. 100%. How much you want to bet? I got that shit locked. Locked!
Kyle hesitates, but then officially places Justin at the scene on this night, disputing his claims that he did not hang out with them and had no knowledge of anything that took place. Justin is going to have some explaining to do.
I know you were there. I know about what you did. I know that you participated. And I want to know exactly what you did.
Because
so
Kyle
that I
told
don't
us.
blame you for something you didn't do. Because everybody else is. All right?
Blaming me?
Yeah.
The detective has clearly learned details from the other interrogations. However, Justin doesn't know how much she knows, and she's implying they're laying the blame for events squarely at his feet. It appears that the detectives may be using the prisoner's dilemma as one of their tactics to get everyone to talk. This psychological dilemma involves separating people and then giving them a scenario in which each person must decide, without being able to communicate, if they're going to cooperate with each other and stay silent, or if they're going to turn on the other and deflect blame off of themselves. All the while, the detectives tell each person that the other has already spilled all of their secrets and blamed them. Here, each of the suspects face this same decision dilemma. If they all stay quiet, there may not be enough evidence to convict them.
Kyle's
or
big
they could
fat
receive a
ass
lesser
don't really
charge.
care. He just
But with the
snitching.
choice to cooperate with
Either
each
way.
other comes a great risk. If only one person stays silent while the rest talk, they risk getting blamed for everything. But if they all talk, then they all could face punishment. The detectives will put the pressure on even more by suggesting to each person that the others are pointing the finger at them. Is this just an excellent way for interrogators to get to the truth? Or is it unethical to pit suspects against each other as it could incentivize false confessions?
No.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Yeah. Wow. I know what happened to Seth. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, floor is yours. Question is Roach going to look out for Roach? Or is Roach going to not look out for him and let him take the fall for everybody else?
Well, since you put it that way, this is what happens since they were.
As easy as that, Justin
Damn.
joins Kyle in revealing the truth
Damn.
of that horrible night.
Damn!
Meanwhile, Kyle's grim story is far from over. Mike has just taken the pills and is amped up and ready for violence.
Was he talking about killing people? He's talking about killing Seth?
Pretty much, because he was like, man, because he's like, all you gotta do is find him and get him on the way down here and everything like that. And he didn't want Amber to call him off of the phone or text him. He didn't want nothing to have her or Charlie to have nothing to do with it.
What could Seth possibly have done to stir up such animosity with Mike? This couldn't have been a random event. There had to be a motive. Perhaps Amber has already given investigators a clue.
Why does Michael not like Seth?
Because he likes Amber. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So have you ever dated Michael?
We've never dated, but we've always had a thing for each other, but never dated.
Okay.
Hey, yo.
Despite what Amber says here, Seth certainly feels like she and Mike were in a relationship. The two former lovebirds engaged in a social media war after the breakup, which demonstrated how volatile things had become between them. In February of 2011, before the breakup, their Facebook posts were what one might expect from teens in love. But then on March 23rd, Amber announces that she is done, followed approximately a week later by a similar post from Seth, indicating that he is now single. Seth and Amber continue to express their frustrations, which leads to an online war, with friends on both sides providing support and sometimes a voice of reason when they take things too far. On April 3rd, Seth seems to want to extend the olive branch, but Mike gets involved and Amber makes...
If y'all do that, bro, like, I see that shit happen on Snapchat. If you're doing that, shut the fuck up. Nobody actually cares. Everybody just laughing at you. Please stop. Don't even take it to Snapchat DMs. Take it to messages, bro. And if they blocked you, you blocked them. Never text them again. That simple. Never take it to Snapchat messages. Never take it to Snapchat stories. Snapchat messages just get posted immediately on the private. And there's always a way to fucking screenshot Snapchat messages without it showing you screenshotted too. So don't even think that's a... Don't think that if it doesn't say screenshot it, it's not screenshot it, because it is. And never take it to stories. Stories just show everybody and everybody's laughing at you. Nobody cares either. Oh God.
It's clear she wants nothing to do with Seth. According to some sources, it was around this time that Seth challenged Mike, and the two got into a fight. Despite being younger by 3 years, Seth apparently won the fight, deepening the rivalry between them. Battle lines are drawn. Amidst this online chaos, it's no wonder that Seth was suspicious about being jumped when Amber suddenly wanted to make nice with him and get back together.
Well, Amber decided and she agreed to it.
Your brother told me everything.
Okay.
So you can sit there and you can continue to lie on me, walk out and treat you like a piece of garbage. Or you can sit here and treat me with the respect that I treated you with. Okay? And you can tell me the truth.
Yes.
What's your choice going to be?
True.
Okay. Speak up so I can hear you too. Okay?
Alright.
So let's start at the beginning again. And you tell me this story. And the first time that I think you're lying, I'm getting up and walking out of here and I don't care what happens to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Just walks
The
away
detective
at the
is far
first
more
fucking
aggressive now.
word she
Amber
speaks.
begins with Brandon playing music and designates the same players on the scene, including Justin
Okay.
and her stepfather.
James and Brandon both left after, like, Brandon was playing guitar and everything. They both left. And Mike was, like, talking to Charlie and Kyle and me. And he was like, you should call Seth. And I was like, for what? He was like, act like you're gonna make up with him. And I was like, for what, Mike? He's like, because I'm gonna kill him. And I was like, why are you gonna do that? He's like, because I'm tired of him.
This is a key moment, as Amber has
Hey,
now
yo.
revealed her knowledge of Mike's intentions. This admission means that she knew something may happen to Seth if she called him to ask him to meet her.
And she still
She's
planned
now
it.
gone
First
from
degree,
an innocent
bitch.
bystander to an instrumental part of Mike's plan.
Yes, sir.
So I went into the front with Charlie and I called him and I told him I wanted to make up.
With additional confirmation that the girls are not as innocent as they claimed, there is still another confrontation that needs to take place to get the full story.
I need you to be totally honest and truthful with me, okay? Because we have talked to other people. We've talked to Kyle, okay? And Kyle has told us his new version of the story, okay? He's, from at this point, he's been totally cooperative, okay? I know there's some things that transpired prior to. I know there were some conversations prior to about something happening.
The detective is being intentionally vague when he hints that Kyle has given them information. He wants to increase Charlie's discomfort so she will be more likely to talk.
And or obviously live.
I don't know what he's talking about. I mean,
Oh, shit.
In between him and Mike, but I don't know.
Cal has already, and I'll be honest with you, has implemented you in being involved in knowing or having knowledge to this thing transpiring prior to it happening.
But I didn't.
This what doesn't make sense to me. You're telling me that you guys are in this house. You drew out a diagram
Ah!
of your
I fucking you up.
everybody was sitting at. The C is for,
Me,
the A is for,
Amber,
the K is for,
Kyle,
the S is for,
Seth,
and then Mike was in his room allegedly, correct? Okay. Who else was at this house that you did not put in there?
Roach.
Roach was there, but he wasn't there when that happened.
Yes, he was.
I didn't see him.
It seems likely that Kyle, Amber, and Charlie had previously coordinated with Justin to leave him out of the events completely. The detective shifts focus to Seth's arrival.
And you says that he just unannounced himself and just came to the house. Is that correct?
Yeah.
No one told him to come to the house.
No.
How did he come to that house? Because I'm telling you right now, there's a different story in that other room.
I mean, he walked.
I understand he probably walked with his left foot and his right foot, one in front of the other, and he physically came to the house. This is where you need to be truthful with me.
And she was the only one that stood 10 toes. Everybody else just snitched immediately.
Okay? And you're not being truthful with me. Can we both agree on that?
Yeah.
This at least is progress in the right direction. Let's check in with Kyle.
Please.
Take a deep breath. You're
Fat
doing
Ginger.
well. It's about time. It's okay.
Once he pulls himself together, he provides some insight into his feelings for Seth.
I really hated Seth. And there was time, because my ex-girlfriend, I found him in the bed with my ex-girlfriend, and I really didn't like that, and I loved her. But I really didn't want to go out and kill the kid. It wasn't my intention. And he come, alright.
Mhm.
Well, Mike was talking about it, he's like, listen, he's like, I'll do it. And believe it or not, Amber wanted it done. Amber don't want nothing to do with him. Amber wanted him dead and gone. He deserved it.
Kyle is deflecting responsibility off himself by justifying what they did, by blaming the victim and stating that he deserved it.
I wanted him dead, but I didn't want to do it. And I didn't want nothing to be a part of it. I didn't want nothing.
And Mike said he would do
But
it.
Mike said he would do it.
So you
And
talked
he
to Mike
kept
about
on
it.
saying, man, I'll take the blame for it. I'll take the blame for everything. I'll do it. I'll do everything. I'll take the blame. If the cops ask you if anything, I'll take the blame. I have nothing to lose.
Kyle has admitted to quite a bit so far. He seems to mistakenly believe that Mike could take all the blame for killing Seth if he's the only one who pulls the trigger.
But he cannot.
It's whatever. And Amber agreed to it. Everybody was agreeing to it.
So did Soto agree?
Huh?
Soto? Roach?
Everybody agreed.
He
Like I
agreed?
said, everybody agreed.
Amber agreed?
Mm-hmm. And Jay.
Charlie agreed?
Mm-hmm.
Mike said he would do it, and you agreed. So there's 5 people.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
The detective makes it
5 people to kill
perfectly
one
clear
guy.
that
It looks like the
stating
one
that
guy's
each
still
of them
on.
were involved in
I ain't
premeditation
gonna lie.
for murder.
And Mike's like, man, I can't do this. It's got to be done now. He's like, wait, Mickey, he's not. He's sitting in the love seat. He's like, it's got to be done now. Mike opened the door. I come out. I hit him over the stick, the head.
Where was Seth when you hit him?
He was in the chair,
Okay.
and I hit him over the head with the stick, and it broke 3 times on him.
Kyle had previously admitted that both he and Justin Soto intended to hit Seth to make it easier for Mike to kill him.
Come
This is
on,
considered
bruh.
aiding in the murder and could make them just as culpable as Mike.
Yeah,
He's now admitted that he actually followed through on his part.
that's
In
insane.
another room, Charlie's detective is about to use this event to perform a coup de grace.
That was a
At no
coup
time
d'etat.
did you ever say, when Kyle hit Seth across the head with this stick, board, or whatever this object was, what the hell are you doing? What's going on? If you didn't know what was going on. You see the picture I'm painting now? Obviously, you had to know what was going on, okay? Because any person in their right mind would have asked this question. If you and I are sitting in this room, and whoever's sitting over here, and I just start beating the hell out of him, aren't you going to want, what's going on? You never said that. You know why?
You knew what the
You know why?
fuck was going on.
So I knew something might have happened.
Exactly.
Charlie finally admits that she knew something might happen. Once the detective started being aggressive about her lies,
I ain't gonna lie, he woulda had that little moment if his chair ain't squeaked so loud. That shit squeaked so loud it ruined his whole moment in that whole thing he did.
it didn't take very long for her to break under the pressure.
Yeah, cause you fucking retarded. Like what?
He stood up, and when I broke it over his head 3 times, he stood up, and then Roach come in, and then he hit him with his stick, and then he was trying to go through the kitchen, and Mike shot him in the back twice with a gun.
Kyle hit Seth with a thing, and I flew against the counter, and I looked.
Roach hit him with a stick too?
Yeah, I didn't look at it. I was in the kitchen, and all I seen was Seth fly, and then Kyle and Roach flew, and Mike flew right behind him. And Charlie was like, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room. When Kyle hit him over the head, that's when we ran into the room because we didn't know where Mike was. Like, we thought he was in his room, and obviously that's where he was, but, like, we didn't know where he was with the gun.
Okay.
And then he was still trying to go out the front door, and Mike just kept on shooting him. I kept on telling Mike, I was like, stop it, let him go. And he just kept on shooting him. And he goes out.
Revolver only got 6 bullets, bro.
At the house,
I just got out of the way and like pumped his ass.
and Roach grabs him like this and Seth on the ground and has him choked. And I don't know what he did to his knee, but he kind of messed up his knee, and Roach rolled over.
Who messed up his knee?
Roach,
Okay.
Soto, and he rolled over, and Mike come up and shot him in the head, and that's when it was over.
Mike,
How much fucking bullets he
how
got?
many times?
Like 5 times maybe, I guess.
Right there on the spot?
It's 5 or 6 bullets in a revolver, ain't it?
And oh my god, man. And come back into, and then I was like, Mike's like, man, grab him, you gotta grab him, Kyle. We can't have nobody, we gotta grab him. And I was scared, I was freaking out, and I'm like, okay. And I grabbed him, and I pulled him up the stairs, and
Grabbed who?
Seth. I started pulling him up the stairs.
Was Seth still alive?
Partially, yeah.
Okay, so he was still breathing at that time.
He was partially still alive.
You shot a motherfucker in the head and he was still.
I'm staring at him crying.
What?
Stop crying. I'm about to puke from it all.
Many
And
men
then
wish that
they got him
upon
in the house and laid him on the floor.
blood in my eyes, don't I
They
can't
put him
see.
in the bath, and then
Who put him in the bathtub?
Roach come in, and he helped put him in the bathtub.
I like
Did you help put Seth in the bathtub?
Yeah, I like grabbed a little piece of him and like just put him in there, and then I just went out and
And then when he was in the bathtub, Mike kept on getting all psycho and pissed, and kept on punching him and shooting him, and I had to grab him like this to pull him back, and I told him to stop. I said, listen, you need to stop right now. And then I come in, and then Mike's wanting to break it. I come in, and Mike's trying to break his kneecaps to put
Is
him
he
in a
dead at
hog
this
tie.
point, or is he
Yeah,
still?
he's completely dead.
Who broke his legs and knees?
I think Mike did that.
And that's when Mike had his leg pulled out like this with some in his hand, some hard, trying to break his kneecap.
How'd you get the scratch marks on your legs? Fighting with Seth?
No, I didn't. It's still woods and stuff.
Finding firewood?
Huh?
Finding firewood
Yeah,
to burn up Seth?
I guess, yeah.
And then Mike was like, Roach, get him in the bathroom. And then Charlie was like, Amber, don't walk out there. Don't walk out there. We don't need to see it. That's when Mike walked in the room with his gun in his hand. And he was like, I love you both, but if you say anything, I'll kill you both.
When a person threatens to kill another person to get them to commit a crime, that creates a duress defense. However, this is not usually a defense to a homicide, as it's considered wrong to take another person's life, regardless of whether your own life has been threatened. Furthermore, since Amber was aware and participated in these events before there was ever a threat involved, her part in the murder is already done.
Yeah.
22.
Okay.
22 revolver. It's all black.
Where is it at right now?
He must have
front
reloaded,
of the
bro.
house in the air duct.
That's where the gun's at right now.
That's where the gun
Where
is
are the
supposed to be
sticks
at right now.
that you guys,
Everything got burnt.
He then begins to explain how they disposed of Seth's body once his kneecaps were broken in the bathtub.
And then he hog tied him, and then he put him in the bag.
in what bag?
The like I said, that sleeping bag.
Okay, so after the bathtub, they put him in some blue thingy that you said,
Yeah,
like a
A
bag.
bag or something.
Okay,
He
what do
was
they
brought
do?
up- He was brought up there.
Who brought him out?
Mike and Kyle.
It says Mike and Soto.
Well, they brought him up there first, and I just like dragged him a little bit.
After a pause, Justin amends his story since the detective already knows he was involved, but just a little bit. He'd already been collecting wood for the fire, and now they got it started in the backyard, preparing to dispose of the body in the bag.
We had these two tires. The tires, now the rubber was supposed to, I guess what Mike said was supposed to overdo the smell of the burnt body, something like that. So
Where'd you get the tires?
the tires were already in the front yard. They come off of some car or something, and then I come out there, and then Roach was telling me something about the shovel. Like I guess he hit him over the head with a shovel or something, because he was still like Mike's psycho. He's crazy. The guy's completely dead, and he's still hitting him.
If what Kyle is saying is true, Mike continuing to strike the body with a shovel could suggest that he's trying to relive the experience of killing Seth. He may have felt a rush of adrenaline when he first attacked the victim, and he wants to feel that excitement again. The drugs Mike took may have also contributed to his frenzied behavior.
Yeah, they might have
So Mike stayed out
overdid that adrenaline
there
too.
to watch
Might have
the
like
body
doubled that
burn
shit.
in fire.
I
Right?
stayed out there.
You stayed out there by yourself?
Yeah, most of the time.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate your being honest about that, okay?
Mhm.
So I guess it was your job to make sure the body burned?
Yeah. I just wanted it all to be over.
The next morning, when the fire's out, Mike prepares what remains of Seth's body for disposal.
We're just going around there. Mike's in the bag picking teeth from his skull and playing with his tongue. He's all sick and everything. He's putting
What
them
the
into
fuck?
the containers with paint and everything, the ashes and everything.
Who's helping him do that?
He was at that point. He was just doing everything by himself at that point, because everybody just said, "F it, we're done."
Where is Seth right now? Where is all of his body parts?
It's somewhere in Ocala.
Where?
Oh, well, it's some rock quarry thing or whatever.
This quarry was a place Mike had once gone swimming with an ex-girlfriend, and he knew it was a desolate place, perfect for disposing of the paint buckets that contained his victim.
It's out. You brush your teeth, right?
Yeah,
You know what toothpaste look like, right?
yeah,
You ever mashed it?
yeah.
You ever try to put it back in there?
It can't go back in.
Can't.
I want my mom's mother-in-law.
Can't go back in, can it?
No.
Somewhere nearby, Amber faces the music for her part in the debacle.
Huh. Stupid bitch.
I'm scared.
What were you scared of? There was no threat.
I was
At the
scared
time
of
that-
Mike.
But there was no threat at the time. Seth wasn't even there.
Mhm.
So what are you being afraid of? Seth wasn't even there. There was nothing for Mike, you said, Mike told me, I love you both. He would never do anything to hurt you. What were you thinking about getting Seth up there?
I don't know. I wasn't thinking at the time.
Did you just hate Seth that bad?
I didn't hate him. I was hurt.
Does your mom know about this?
Yeah.
The detective
Kyle
asked her
snitched.
brother the same question.
What do you think your mom's gonna say does your mom know this true story?
Oh, yeah. She knows what I told her.
What do you think mom's gonna say? Not one of her children, but both her children are involved in murder.
Last but not least, there's Justin.
I just don't want to get into more shit. I didn't even want to get in this shit. I just wanted to get my life together. I was planning on going to the military and everything, but it's fucking out of the picture now. Well,
Why-
my life pretty
Why
much is
didn't
out
you
of the
just,
picture.
let me ask you this, you know, you're telling me you wanted to get your life straight, this, that, the other.
I don't
You know,
like,
that's all
fuck-
bullshit,
I-
because
I
if you
just
wanted to
don't
get
like-
your life straight, you know what you would have done? You would have not participated in this, and you would have called the cops and said, this is what's about to happen to this kid. You gave no regard to another person's life. Why didn't you call 911?
I don't call 911.
You don't call 911,
I don't like being over the line.
but you let a person die. Because that's the honorable thing to do.
Got his ass. High ass pant. Alright, nah, she's a good guy.
With
Here's over,
interrogations
dumbass.
complete, detectives
Fuck.
begin sending the suspects one at a time to where Kyle and his mom are waiting. He's sitting in the chair, currently just off screen.
She said, "You tell me the truth and all I can, and straight the truth, and I will try helping you." That's why I need to talk to the detective again. I'm gonna just come out with it. I'm gonna get everything done and over with, and I just want it all done. So I told him.
If someone cannot afford an attorney, they have a constitutional right to have an attorney appointed. This is explained to every person in custody as a part of their Miranda rights.
Yeah.
But Kyle doesn't seem to fully comprehend this right.
I wish I would have never met this kid, man.
Who?
So,
I wish you didn't meet Mike.
that too.
Where's her attorney?
I don't know. I haven't seen him. I haven't even seen him ever.
Can I have mom come out?
They just bring Roach in. Just start fighting and shit. That dumb whore.
I had to. They knew we were lying.
Immediately, Amber confronts Kyle.
That's crazy.
For a second. Take your mom's purse.
Yeah.
And give your mom.
Get your mom's purse.
Did she leave it?
No, actually.
Said we've interviewed Amber, Charlie, and now you can't now. I know you're lying to me.
They immediately begin talking about the interrogation.
Do they not
It's
know
likely
there's
that they're
fucking
unaware that they're
audio
being
and
recorded.
they're retarded, bro?
I'm sorry, guys.
He's not gonna wait for me.
Charlie taps her arm where her husband's name is tattooed. With the prospect of facing incarceration before them, the conversation turns to their feelings about the idea.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared. I'm terrified.
I am too.
Because I'm actually going to an actual jail. And then an actual prison is no like juvenile.
Like, I don't understand.
You can't. You're 15.
And yes, I just sucked the shit out of my mic and yelled it.
In time, they begin to speculate about the one person who is still missing, Justin.
He's not coming over to you.
Roach was already out because I heard them talking about a cigarette. So where's Roach now? And I even said if they don't do anything, if like they don't do anything about us with us, then we're gonna have to watch our backs
Well, with Mike,
with anybody.
With everybody.
You know how many people are gonna hate us for this? People that don't even know us are gonna be looking for us if we get out of this.
why?
There's a 15-year-old kid murdered because of us. Do you honestly think people want to be around that? Do you think people think there's those kind of people are supposed to be here?
Nah, you should be rotting in a prison cell.
Hell, I don't even like the kind of people, and I'm one of them now.
I don't
And
need.
I didn't even do anything.
Throughout their discussions, they
You
make
retarded?
blame squarely on Mike as the ringleader, discounting their own contributions to Seth's murder, as Kyle does here. They seem to struggle to acknowledge what they've done or take responsibility for their own actions.
Amber, where are the clothes that you had on that Sunday?
After Amber answers the detective's question, Kyle takes the opportunity to try to find out some information.
Can you tell us anything what's gonna happen to
Yep,
us?
I sure can, and I will. Just in 1 second, just let me go back and tell him what she said. What shirt did you have on? This is the story. You're an adult, correct? Juvenile and juvenile, correct? Am I right? You two are under 18 and you're 18. You're all going to be booked with first-degree premeditated murder.
Ah!
You two will go to the juvenile assessment center. You will go to the Marion County Jail. Okay? Take a deep breath. You'll have no bond. You won't be getting out.
How many years?
Oh, honey, this is not. Listen to me. Everybody, just take a deep breath.
Like, well, since we really didn't do anything.
No. See, but you did. First of all, let's get over that hump right now, okay? That we really didn't do anything because everybody's complicit here. A person died. A person was murdered, okay?
And it's your
We all
fault.
knew about it. We all planned it. We were all involved in getting it done. So let's hop that hurdle first, okay? Let's man up to the fact that, damn it, this was a pretty heinous crime and we all had something to do with it. Now we got to deal with what will happen to us from that, okay?
Yeah, well, it was like the fact, like, I know I was scared because Mike had a gun and I
Oh,
was
you know what?
scared.
Stop it. Do you think we haven't been listening to everything you guys have been saying in here? Are you that stupid, really?
I know.
Then just stop. Because I don't even, lying to me just makes me just, ugh, I hate it.
I wouldn't lie.
Oh, yeah, you were. You lied about a few things.
I wouldn't
But
lie.
anyway, that's what's gonna happen. It is
But you'll
one
kill.
step at a time. Remember to breathe. That's how we get through stuff like this, okay? But you know what? I will say, you, sir, I have a lot of admiration for because at least you told the truth.
Having praised Kyle for his honesty, she informs them that they will be booked, but that they still have the trial to determine their guilt or innocence.
What? How? Is Roach gonna go through the same thing?
They not go to
yes,
school, do they?
this part. You will be booked also.
Oh, did they
She
talk to
tells
Mike?
Kyle
I'm gonna
and
see if they
Amber
talk
they
to
will
Mike.
let her see her mother before they have to leave, and then departs. The staggering reality of their situation begins to sink in.
We're all in for murder. I lied. What? Did you say, why did you lie? This is our life now.
Oh my god.
We didn't do anything with the body or anything like that. I get 5 years, I'm gonna 20 by the time I get out.
Amber is unable to grasp the true magnitude of what a first-degree murder conviction would mean.
She said 5
5
years.
years would be a drop in the bucket compared to what she can expect.
Yeah, it's like minimum 25 or 27, isn't it? Minimum 27 first degree.
At all. This is all because of Mike. Played us all.
You didn't play shit. You played yourself. Fucking dumbass. Oh, 20. So she would be 35. 35. I'm gonna see if they're out. The Teen Orchard, Seth Jackson. That's 8 years ago. He's just like after 20.
Damn, boy. Damn, boy.
That's Mike. Fucking bitch ass. I knew she had a dumbass, lazy eye, ugly asshole. I knew that. Bet.
I'm so scared. I'm gonna get my ass beat in there.
Hopefully.
I think it's gonna be like, and I can't fresh little meat. It's probably gonna be the smallest fucking person in there. Oh, it always is. Oh, you guys are going to the juvenile thing. I'm going to the big thing. Have you seen the juvenile? The juvenile is fucking crazy. The jail is full of fucking older people now. Now the juvenile is all these. I'm so scary. It's gonna wear me.
In the middle of this despair, the detectives let Justin into the room. He is not happy.
We're screwed.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
And Mike's fucking running while we're all handling it for him. I want my mom. I want.
I just want my life to end right now.
Huh?
I just want my life to end right now.
Detectives now had a pretty good idea of what may have happened to Seth, but there were still missing pieces to the puzzle and a suspect at large. However, everything was about to fall into place. Later that same night in Stark, Florida, James Williams Sr. was driving home. He'd only stopped at work long enough to tell his boss that he needed the night off because there was something very important that he had to do. That something was taking Mike Bargo to turn himself in to the police. Mike was his daughter's boyfriend, so Mr. Williams had offered him sanctuary in good faith, unaware of the real reason Mike needed a place to lie low. Yet just before, for his overnight shift, Mike admitted the truth to him, or at least a version of it, and agreed to turn himself in. Now, cleared of his work obligations, Mr. Williams was on his way to help him do just that. However, as he neared his house, he witnessed a multitude of flashing blue lights surrounding it. It seems the police had already tracked Mike and were going to relieve him of his duty. This is James Williams Sr. He is the father of Mike Bargo's girlfriend, Kristen, and is the man he chose to stay with while on the run from police.
Tell me how you became involved in this and what knowledge do you have about
Okay. I just run down everything exactly to you as what happened.
it? Okay.
Yeah, he didn't want to get. He was like, "Fuck
I got a
that."
call, from him, actually from my daughter, wanting to know if he could come up and stay at my house for a couple of days. At which point she didn't tell me anything more than that. And then he called shortly thereafter, and I said, well, he said, look, I got in an altercation in Ocala, the place I was living, got into a fight, and they threw me out of the house, and I needed a place to stay for a few days while things cooled down. And he said, and he started getting all emotional, and I kind of figured it was something, I said, what's going on, Mike? And he said, Jimmy, he said, at that point, I believe he said yesterday or the day before, I believe he said the day before, that somebody had raped his little sister.
God damn.
And he shot him 8 times and killed him.
Mike seems to feel the need to get things off his chest, but still can't bring himself to be completely
8 times his
honest.
revolver had 8 bullets.
And I started talking to him, and I said, look, man, I said, I'm telling you right now, I don't need no trouble like this. And I said, you don't either. The best thing for you to do is turn yourself in. And he pretty much agreed that that's what he was going to do. Said he was going to call his father to come get him.
Mr. Williams claimed he had a strict job, so he had to go check in before he could request time off. He went to do so, intending to come back and be the one to take Mike to the station, even though he didn't tell him. While he's gone, Mike decides to open up to someone else in the household. This is Crystal Anderson, Mr. Williams' live-in girlfriend. She was at the house during Mike's visit.
And then after I got done cooking,
and I got Jim up to go to work. And he left, and Mike's like, can I talk to you? And he said that the little girl that lives there, that's 15 years old, said that her boyfriend had raped her.
It's crazy that you can't say that word. I'm sorry.
And I was like, oh my God, are you for real? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, I killed him. I said, what?
Mike completely unburdens himself, telling the entire story to Crystal as she listens in horror. According to Crystal, Mike claimed that he killed Seth because Seth had allegedly assaulted Amber. Because James and Crystal are important figures in his girlfriend's life, he may have wanted to make himself look better in their eyes. If he said he only killed to protect a girl he saw as his little sister, he may have believed he would appear more sympathetic to them.
And he said that after he did that he took 5-gallon buckets and put the ashes in the buckets. Him and the girl's stepdad had drove them to some place where they go swimming at, and had took cinder blocks and tied them to the bucket and threw his body in the river.
Crystal's story cements James Haven's culpability as she describes that he was involved in disposing of the body. Several accounts place Justin Soto at the scene, too. Allegedly, Amber texted James Havens, her stepfather, and asked him to come to Charlie's house. Once there, James helped Mike and Justin load the paint cans, cinder blocks, and a dog leash into the back of his truck, and Mike gave him directions to the quarry. There, they used the leash to tie cinder blocks to the buckets and threw them into the quarry.
And he called his dad, and his dad told him that's what had busted through their house. And they were looking for him, and I told him, I said, Mike, I said, you got to tell Jim what's going on. You got to tell him. I said, I can't let him get in no trouble because you want to be crazy. And I had called my cousin that lives across the road, but nobody was home because I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
Okay. And is that when we showed up?
Yeah.
Now that these interviews have concluded, there is, of course, one more person who the police need to have a little chat with.
Which one? This one or that one?
Cindy
That one
Grace.
right there.
How you doing?
This is 18-year-old Mike Bargo, mastermind and instigator of the Seth Jackson murder. He flops down in the chair where the detective directs him, his body language immediately seeming to indicate that he will not be as cooperative as his fellow conspirators.
Yo, like, I get these off though, like, they're really killing my wrist.
Mike may be feeling powerless, so he tries to take control of the situation right away by asking to have the handcuffs removed. The detective complies, likely to build goodwill.
I got a hole in that hand, and as you can tell.
Okay. I'm Detective Luke from the Marion County Sheriff's Office. Okay? I think you know why I'm here to talk to you. Okay? Before we talk or anything, I have to advise you of your rights. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You understand each of these rights I have explained to you.
Yes, sir.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to, it says us here, but I'm saying me. Do you wish to talk to me now?
I'd like to get on one phone call, because I need to get over with somebody. I need to call my lawyer.
You want to talk to a lawyer? Is that what you're telling
I
me?
mean, I'll talk to you, but I don't want to call my dad.
Wait a minute.